Hello and welcome to the wonderful program named Reflections, the series where we share stories that recharge and rejuvenate us. And like every time, we have a wonderful speaker, Greg Welham. Greg has been practicing and teaching Rajayoga Meditation since 22 years, and since the past 11 years, he is looking after the retreat center of the Brahmakumaris in Blue Mountains in New South Wales, Australia. And professionally, he was the area manager of the Blue Mountains National Park here in New South Wales, Australia as well. And the title of the story that he would be sharing with us today is Follow Your Conscience. And Greg shares his experience of how following our conscience can help us find and improve our self-respect. So a hearty welcome to the program, Brother Greg, and we look forward to hearing your experience, your personal story of what was it that came in your mind, what was it that you followed your conscience about, and how did it change you. So hearty welcome once again, and over to you to share your story.
Thank you, Lata. In about 1950, my aunt bought this block of land in Dulce Heights in the Central Coast, overlooking the ocean, and she built a 5-row house on it. And my mum and our family used to go up there regularly on weekends to see them, but also have a bit of a holiday. Anyway, one year, 1975, I went up there for 6 weeks with my cousin, and end of 1975, beginning of 1976, and we spent 6 weeks catching waves, fishing, things like that. Anyway, one day we met these three men. I was about 21 at the time, and they were 23, 24, something like that. And we started talking. They were all vegetarians, and we started talking about what it was to be a vegetarian, why they became vegetarians, and it sort of struck a chord with me. It sort of made me think. Once I'd left them, I don't think I can kill an animal. So if I can't kill an animal, how can I eat one? So anyway, I went back home, said to my mother, I'm going to be a vegetarian. And she said, look, if I had the chance, I would be a vegetarian too, but I've got to feed your father. And I think her childhood was out in the country, and so there was a bit of unpleasantness with, killing animals. And so it's sort of, I thought it was in our genes almost, but because I actually had the feeling that I had to do this no matter what, my conscience just said, you've got to do it. And the funny thing was that in those days, people, there weren't many vegetarians around, and I'd go to friends' barbecues, and they say to me things like, "Oh, you can go out the back and eat the grass," but it didn't matter. And I played a decent level of sport, cricket, and even there, I would get these special drinks to give me protein to play, and they'd bring it out at the tea break, and I'd drink these special drinks, and I was different from everyone else. But it didn't matter. And I was thinking later, it's because, when I was young, I used to just do what everyone else did. I just used to follow everyone. And to some extent, I didn't really know who I was as a consequence. And so having the self-respect to follow my conscience made me feel good. So it actually gave me self-respect. I realized much later it was actually giving me self-respect because it meant that I could follow my conscience. I didn't have to just follow everyone else. So And it took me some time, I guess, to realise that I was actually getting self-respect from following my conscience. But I think when I did, I just realised that, you know, I'm the boss of my future. I don't have to follow other people. And it doesn't matter what people think. The thing is that it felt right. It actually felt right to do what I was doing. So I've been a vegetarian nearly 50 years now, and I've never strayed from that because deep down I sort of felt, you know, this is exactly what I should be doing. And it actually made me feel good. So it actually made me, I suppose, oblivious to any joking other people would make towards me about my diet or how I was living. So it actually made me feel good. It actually made me feel good to actually follow my conscience. So I'm not sure what else I need to say, to be honest.
Sure. I really like what you just said, that this decision or following your conscience made you fearless. Uh, that's a very interesting connection. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more? Uh, was it like fear of what people would say, or what would happen, like, you know, in future if you changed your decision again, like, you know, a sense of shame or something like that? So how would you, you know, think fearless has a connection uh, with going ahead with what you feel is right?
There's no fear. Because you're actually following your conscience, there's no fear, because that's the deep truth within the self, I think. So I actually never had any fear that I was doing the wrong thing, or that what other people would say would affect me or put me down. I was following my conscience. It felt right, so it didn't matter. It just didn't matter what other people would say or think. And, you know, to be honest, in those days, there weren't a lot of vegetarians. And, you know, I'd go to a wedding and I'd just eat a salad because there was nothing else I could eat. And in fact, I wouldn't even eat food that was prepared or cooked in the same place that meat was cooked. So it was just, that's me. My brother and sister, they just sort of, I was a bit sort of different, I suppose. And they've always thought, well, that's just great. That's just him. That's fine.
And you know, sometimes when someone's really adamant about something and they say, no, I want to do this, there's a subtle difference between someone feeling this is the right thing for me and following it, versus someone really stubborn and adamant about something and, you know, not listening to others' advice and doing it, following it. What's the difference, or how can you decide uh, that this is the right thing that I'm trying to stick to, versus this is just my stubbornness and maybe there's something I should listen to, I should, you know, take their advice as well? Have you had any experiences or
Well,
thoughts like that?
fundamentally, the thing that made me become a vegetarian was that I knew I couldn't kill an animal. And I couldn't, doesn't matter what people would say, you know, you have to kill this animal, you have to kill that animal. I couldn't do it. And I thought, well, if I can't kill an animal, I can't eat it. So it was just straightforward, black and white. It's not as if I had to convince anyone else, because I wasn't actually trying to convert anyone else. It was just what felt right for me. And wasn't that people actually tried to convince me otherwise either. Because I just knew no one tried to convince me otherwise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
suppose I
There's a
gave
power
that,
in that.
well, I gave up that, I don't know, the self-respect that I was in the right place. And, if you're in the right place and you're in your self-respect, then it doesn't matter what people say or what people try and do. Self-respect really truly means to truly understand me. And I knew this was me, what I had to do. So it didn't matter what, other
Yeah,
people said. Not that they
yeah,
actually made fun of me that much, to be honest,
yeah.
because it was just me.
There's a step of courage also in there, isn't it? Like, I'm just thinking maybe there are so many in the world out there who kind of have that feeling inside that they want to take a certain step. However, they aren't able to find that courage, and maybe it takes a long time for them to embark on that journey, or they're just confused, or they don't know, though they feel quite strongly that what they're doing is not right. Like, so they're kind of suppressing what their conscience is trying to say. What would you advise such souls? How can they come out of that and truly follow what they want to do?
It's
Anything
actually
from you?
determination. It wasn't really courage, because I just knew this is right for me. But I was determined, and so it didn't matter what situations came in front of me. It was just determination. This is my path. And even my sister, she would invite me over to have lunch or something, and I said to her, "You have to cook," because she would, do a roast in the oven with the roast vegetables in the oven. And I said to her, "If you're going to cook that for me, you put the vegetables on the top tray and the roast on the bottom tray, because I don't want the meat splashed on the vegetables." And she just did it, because I mean, if you're actually doing something from your conscience, you're not actually going to be see what I'm looking for. You're not aggressive. You're not trying to push anything. You give off this almost this aura of this is right, and so don't bother trying to change it, if you know what I mean. Um,
It's like your natural self, and
yeah,
that's what how
yeah,
that's how you want to be.
yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. And have you seen others inspired by your, decision and determination and changing as well?
No, I haven't actually, in terms of vegetarianism, no, I haven't actually tried to convert anyone. Um, it was just good for me. But I mean, that's the whole point of conscience. If you're following your conscience, you're not actually trying to prove anything to anyone. You're just doing what's right for you. So I haven't bothered with anyone else. I have never said to anyone you should be a vegetarian, actually.
What
Never.
benefits did you see in your life because of this decision? Like turning
Self-respect.
into vegetarian? Yeah.
Yeah, self-respect. Because I just felt so good about myself that I had actually made a decision on my own that was contrary to what was going on all around me, because everyone I knew were hating me. So I just felt good, because I'd actually done something that I knew I had to do, and it didn't matter about anyone else. It just made me feel good. That's the key to it. I mean, that's what self-respect is, actually. You feel good about yourself.
And do you think sometimes arrogance may creep in self-respect, like later on, like and how do you identify it if there is anything like that? Because initially it may be like real joy and happiness, but in the journey sometimes it may be like, yeah, I have done something great. Like there may be a subtle arrogance
Oh,
possible.
yeah, I know what you mean.
So how do we
You're only, I,
identify it,
mm,
transform it?
I think it's only arrogance when you're actually trying to force that thing on other people. I mean, if your conscience says you should do it, there shouldn't be any arrogance in that because it's just feels right to me. But if you're trying to force it on someone else, then you are actually, I think, a bit arrogant because you're saying, well, because I'm doing it, everyone else should do it. But it's not like that. It's like just feels right, irrespective of what anyone else around you is doing or wanting, I suppose.
Yeah, so when it's done with a pure intention and that's what you have felt is right,
Yeah,
then yeah, it
yeah,
remains pure because the
yeah.
seed was pure. Yeah.
The intention isn't to convert anyone else with your the conscience isn't about converting anyone else. It's actually about being true to yourself, actually. And that's all it is. So converting other people or trying to convince other people is not being true to yourself. It's actually trying to convert them to you, which is
Hmm.
not, because
That,
everyone's
that's a
different. Everyone's
that's a
different.
very good point that you said. That you're
Mm.
trying to make them you, but
Yeah,
everyone's unique and they can't become you
yeah, that's right.
unless, yeah, that choice has to come from within.
Yeah, I mean, some people have said to me, look, I'm a vegetarian because it's good health. It's a healthy thing to do. But for me, it wasn't about that. It was about the non-violence. That's what it was about for me. And so that's a fundamental thing. So if you take it beyond being a vegetarian, it's actually not being violent with other people as well, even if it's being annoyed or cranky or something like that. It's actually that was what it was fundamentally to me, being non-violent. Realizing that later, of course, I didn't. At the time, it was not violence to animals because I didn't eat them, but think about it, it's actually a much deeper thing. And that's what our conscience is, something that's a bit deeper than what we're normally doing because we don't often follow our conscience. We so easily these days just follow the people around us, our peers. And I think it's a big problem in society, actually. We just follow other people because we're lacking self-respect. And so we need to get self-respect by just fitting in so that we're not being ridiculed. But for me, it wasn't about caring about whether I was ridiculed because it was giving a great deal of enough feeling of I've done the right thing.
Yeah. You shared a wonderful thing that this was about non-violence. Would you say not following your conscience is also violence?
Yeah,
Like it's when you follow your conscience, it's non-violence. Like you're not cutting something that you truly feel is true, but when
mm,
you're not, then there is some pain or sorrow, and that is a violence of uh, like internal
yeah,
violence for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
What do you feel about that? Like, what are your thoughts? Do you think that's true?
yeah. Well, it is violent. What is violence actually? It's actually everything starts with what we're thinking about. And so if I'm thinking some sort of negative or ordinary thought about someone, it's actually violence of the thoughts, isn't it? So, I mean, everything we do fundamentally comes from what we're thinking about. And so if I'm thinking negatively, it's violent. If I'm thinking positively, then I'm actually providing sort of a peaceful atmosphere around myself. And if you think about it, that's really, I mean, you see it all the time. There's so much good in human beings, but it only comes every now and again because we've let the violence of our thoughts take over from the real peace within, actually.
Yeah.
And I think that's our real nature, to be this inner peace, to be honest. And the more I've done the meditation, the more you actually experience it. So following the conscience gave me self-respect. And doing the meditation actually made me realize that the self truly is a peaceful, loving being, the conscience that actually reflects that. And so it sort of all fell into place, to be honest.
That's beautiful. It's a reflection of who we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, deep down, I mean, you see it all the time. There's so much awful things going on in the world, but you always see every now and again these acts of kindness that actually shows, no matter what the person looks like, there's something deep down that's much truer than that. And this whole experience has just shown me that the conscience is actually reflecting those really good internal qualities that make me feel good.
Beautiful. That's a very beautiful thought to end with. Like, just be a true reflection of who you are. So knowing ourselves like our true pure qualities, and then we start reflecting it and being that and acting that, and that's how the transformation takes place.
Yeah, our conscience actually is it's where it all comes from, It actually reflects that real inner beauty of the self.
Wonderful.
So to be able to get in there and follow it, because you just know sometimes I can't do that. I have to do this. And often it's when you take time to think about it, because it wasn't that I immediately became a vegetarian. It was I went home and I thought, yes, this is what I want to do, and I felt like I was actually really get in touch with who I really am. And my brother and sister, I mean, I've been vegetarian for 50 years and they totally respect whatever I say in terms of what I eat. There's no question. There's never any question, because I'm coming at it with a true heart, to be honest.
Beautiful. Well, it's been a wonderful chit chat that we've had, and it was, lovely to see the determination with which you started and how you continued, and how beautiful an experience it has given you. And as we also saw that you've been meditating for quite a long time, which has also helped in this journey. Would you like to take our viewers into a little meditation experience as well, by speaking a commentary, if that's okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So just go within and have the thought, I'm a peaceful being. It's my true nature, being a peaceful being. And where you have that thought is where you, the being that operates this body, is sitting. You, the soul, sitting in this body, operating this body. And you can actually connect with another soul, just like you, the soul that's constantly loving, constantly peaceful, constantly benevolent. And that soul is available for you to just connect and take love and take peace. Just by having the thought, I, the soul, am connecting to that supreme soul, that soul of absolute love, who has nothing but love for you. Just let yourself feel that love. Sorry. Let yourself be in that state of peace that the being operating this body is naturally. You come back to the room.
Thank you very, very much, Rick.
Okay,
It
sorry
was
about
wonderful for sharing. And I would also like to thank our viewers for joining today. And if you would like to know more about us, please do visit our website www.brahmakumaris.org.au. You will find all the information about our programs and centers and retreat centers there. So please do visit and do attend one of the courses if you like to. So thank you once again, and we hope you got some inspiration from today's episode. So thank you, and we'll see you again in another interesting episode. Thank you. Om Shanti.